KOMU 8 News starts now.
Here's what's happening right now. President Trump has issued a federal disaster declaration for the state of California as the state continues to battle wildfires. Good evening, I'm Blake Salmon. The number of those who have died from the fires has risen to 5. NBC's Chris Pallone has the latest on what's happening.
In California, a state of emergency. 10,000 firefighters battling at least 14 fires across the state, and it's not just the flames they're up against. Conditions are brutally hot and dry, temperatures reaching triple digits in some places, and winds gusting to 70 miles per hour.
Wow.
In Northern California, the Carr fire, so large it's visible from space, had claimed 2 lives, a bulldozer operator and firefighter Jeremy Stoke. Now rescuers say they found the bodies of Melody Bledsoe and her 2 great-grandchildren who died trying to evacuate their Redding neighborhood.
The last we knew of, they were in the house. Ed was on the phone with them. They tried to get help. They tried calling 911, and they couldn't get anybody out here.
The flames are moving so fast, people don't have time to react.
All of a sudden, I hear the cops pounding on the front door saying, "You gotta go. We gotta go."
Fire has already destroyed at least 500 homes, with thousands more at risk after the Carr fire doubled in size overnight. Thousands remain under evacuation orders. Chris Corona's family lost everything.
There's a lot of memories. My sister pushing me on the swing when I was really little, like my daughter's age.
Nearly 90 fires are burning across 13 states. President Trump has declared a state of emergency in California, which will speed up the effort to help those affected by fire. Chris Pallone, NBC News.
Meanwhile, the Ferguson fire, which claimed the life of a firefighter, is not expected to be contained for another 2 weeks. On the other side of the world, wildfires in Greece forced people to flee into the sea. Greek rescue divers today search for the missing victims of those deadly fires. Officials say victims could have been trapped underwater because of the rocky coastline. Relatives of the dead and missing are waiting for lab results so they can identify the bodies. Now, closer to home, 4 people have been charged in the death of a taxi driver whose burned body was found on Tuesday in the St. Louis suburbs. Family members say the 39-year-old taxi driver, Wilbert Irving, let Brandon Jackson and his wife stay in his basement. They said the couple wanted a 3rd person to move in, but Irving wouldn't let them. Charging documents say Jackson shot the unarmed Irving 4 times. A Fulton home with 137 animals, including 57 quail, found inside is now condemned. Neighbors told KOMU 8 News it looked like a petting zoo when animal control came to collect the animals. Melissa Baxter was cited with animal abuse and neglect. One neighbor a few houses down says when you walked by the house, you were overcome by a smelly front yard, something no one knew what was included was going on inside.
Our dreams that their house was like that. Who thinks that, you know? Oh, I smell smelly. Your house must be crazy, you know? You don't think that. You just think, oh, okay, something don't smell good today.
Another neighbor told KOMU 8 News Baxter loved her animals. She's saying she would always feed them and give them water. To see the full list of the 137 animals Baxter was keeping in her home, you can go to KOMU.com. The funeral for the 5 remaining family members of the Coleman family who died in the Branson, Missouri duckboat tragedy was held today. Hundreds of people, including the governor, attended the funeral service at Eastern Star Church in Indianapolis. Tia Coleman, who lost 9 family members in the tragic incident, said goodbye to her husband and 3 children yesterday. Tia Coleman and her 13-year-old nephew were the only survivors of the 11 Coleman family members aboard the boat. 4 people were murdered in South Texas yesterday, 2 in a nursing home, and the shooter responsible apparently took his own life. Police found 3 bodies when they responded to Robstown Nursing Home. One was identified as the shooter. The other 2 were his father and stepmother. Nearby, police found 2 more bodies, one of a 13-year-old boy.
Evidence leads us to believe that the 2 that were killed at that home were the first victims to this shooting.
Authorities say the shooter was responsible for all the deaths, though a motive has not been determined. Today in Texas, a robbery attempt had people thinking there was an active shooter. Now, crowds panicked in a shopping mall because they thought they heard gunshots, but it was actually the sound of smashed glass. Several suspects attempted to rob a jewelry store. There were no reported injuries, and 7 suspects are in custody. Protesters gathered in Texas to speak against a warehouse potentially becoming a child immigration shelter. Nearly 100 people protested, some holding a banner that said "Abolish ICE." The group was also calling for the reunification of immigrant families separated by the Trump administration. 5 children and their mother are dead after a motel fire in southwestern Michigan. The children's ages ranged from 2 to 10. The mother was 26 years old. Her husband and a 1-year-old child were able to escape. Now investigators are looking into the incident to see if there were working smoke detectors and to determine whether it was arson.
We are still looking into that as we speak. The investigation's ongoing. We do have the state police fire marshal here. We got local building inspectors to come to try to answer them questions for us.
4 other residents and 4 first responders were treated for smoke inhalation. President Trump is offering farmers a $12 billion package to help them with the trade war as the trade war with China impacts their business. Now, Missouri farmers expressed their concern earlier this week, and Iowa farmers are now doing the same thing. The trade war has prompted a 25% tariff on American soybeans, which made prices plummet. One farmer says taking government money is unnecessary.
I don't think that we should have even gotten into this position.
Other farmers believe the trade war may cause short-term difficulties, but will be better for everyone in the long term. In world news today, Pope Francis accepted the resignation of Cardinal Theodore McCarrick, the former Archbishop of Washington, D.C., following allegations of sexual abuse. Now, McCarrick was removed from public ministry last month after American church officials said allegations against him were credible and substantiated. Francis ordered McCarrick to conduct, quote, a life of prayer and penance in seclusion until a church trial is held. McCarrick said that he has absolutely no recollection of one of the alleged abuses. Taxi drivers in Barcelona blocked traffic on a major road through the city today to protest ride-sharing apps like Uber and Cabify. Hundreds of taxi drivers parked their cabs in the middle of Barcelona's Gran Via. They have been on strike since Wednesday to protest a judge's decision that suspended the need for additional authorization for ride-sharing companies to operate in the city. Uber and Cabify suspended services Wednesday after taxi supporters assaulted several of their drivers, sending 2 to the hospital. After the break, an event meant to increase security around neighborhoods in Colombia.
And we saw some spotted showers today. Tomorrow we're going to see even more rain. This is a good thing because most of mid-Missouri is in a drought at this point. I'll break down what our drought is looking like as well as your forecast for tomorrow.
Never be surprised by the weather. Download the free KOMU8 Weather and Traffic app. Brought to you by Central Bank of Boone County.
Slumberland's anniversary sale is a very big deal. Like incredible savings on this Simmons Factory Select Plush Queen mattress, just $2.99, up to 69% off. Yeah, that's a big deal. Slumberland's 51st anniversary sale. It's a good life.
To give Bella something that I love so much gives me a sense of accomplishment as a father. It's an emotional thing to watch a child grow up, and especially get behind the wheel. I know she'll have a heck of a good time driving it.
When it's time for your old Chevy truck to become their new Chevy truck, there's Truck Month. Get 18% of MSRP cash back on all Silverado 1500 Crew Cab LT pickups when you finance with GM Financial. That's $9,000 on this Silverado. Plus, during Truck Month, make no monthly payments for 90 days.
Get big savings this year at the back-to-school sale at Furniture Row. Find great beds starting at just $149. Sofas for as little as $299. Futons for just $99. Quality-made twin mattresses for just $149. Dining groups for only $199. And all kids' beds are on sale. Plus, save up to 50% on all outdoor living. And 4 years, no interest. Save on everything you need to start the school year off right at the back-to-school sale at Furniture Row.
Prescription drug prices
soaring in cost. The fight to survive, unfortunately, comes down to money.
These pharmaceutical companies are using the law to feed their greed. They have raised prices in ways that make it impossible for families to take the drugs they need. We've got to change that.
Missouri Senator Claire McCaskill wants to hold drug makers accountable.
People say, you ought to back off on these pharmaceutical companies. I don't care how big and powerful they are. We're going to get after this. I'm Claire McCaskill, and I approve this message.
Up to 27% off during Truck Month. Now through the end of the month, or while they last, take advantage of super savings up to 27% off your new Chevy Silverado Crew Cab at Bob McCosh. Call, click, or come by Bob McCosh during Truck Month. Oh, by the way, we need your truck trade-in. See your savings right now at BobMcCosh.com. Find new roads to #1 business loop in Columbia. Chevrolet makes the truck. Bob McCosh makes the difference.
It's Slumberland's huge anniversary sale, and it's a very big deal. It's our biggest sale of the year, and it's almost over. And now introducing free delivery right to your doorstep. Pay no interest till 2022. Slumberland, it's a good life.
Welcome back. The Columbia Police Department's Community Outreach Unit in Columbia Parks and Recreation gathered people from the East neighborhood together. As KOMU8's David Estrada tells us, the goal was to bring city officials, especially law enforcement, closer to underserved communities.
Families in Columbia's East neighborhood gathered to enjoy a free barbecue and water games for the children.
This event, I think, is wonderful to have today because it keeps the community together.
Besides bringing neighbors together, CPD's goal with an event like this is to build a closer relationship with the community.
We need to have the community work with us to solve crimes. And part of that is by establishing relationships. We need to open up the communication. We need people to be willing to talk to us because we don't solve crimes through magic evidence that, appears. And we don't solve crimes without witnesses.
He says CPD seeks to remind the community police officers are there for residents, especially children, even when bad things are not happening.
For children, it is really important to see officers on a day that's not when, they've been victimized by a crime or they've gotten hurt.
It's really good to have them around the kids in the community so the kids know more about what they're for and what they do, and to show that they're there for you if you need their help.
He says there are other communities in the central and north part of Columbia, as well as in the Paris 63 corridor, the city identified as being underserved. Through events like these, food patrol and school visits, she says CPD is building safer communities.
Crimes always fluctuate, just given the trends of whatever's going on in the city, but we have seen a lot more positive benefits in people being willing to talk to us, in violent crimes going down in neighborhoods like the East neighborhood.
In October, Columbia Parks and Recreation plans to host an event like this also at Indian Hills Park. David Estrada, KOMU8 News, Columbia.
He says for the relationship to work between the police department and residents, CPD needs community leaders to work as liaisons. A Columbia charity is encouraging people to keep fighting the good fight by using running medals. On Friday, Medals for Medal volunteers awarded medals to patients at MU's Ellis Fischel Cancer Center. The organization encourages runners to donate their marathon and half marathon finisher medals to someone who's running a more difficult race. Organizers say it's a great way to encourage those who are going through tough times, and those who get the medal agree.
That was real nice. That was great. Nice to see the two young gentlemen come and deliver them, and it lets you know that there are people out there that care, which is obviously wonderful.
Organizers say it's a great way for Columbia's running community to give back. The Kansas City Royals were looking to sweep a doubleheader against the Yankees today. Find out which new face stood out for KC later in sports.
You're witnessing something very special. A medley of exhilaration, joy, and satisfaction experienced only at the Honda Summer Spectacular event. Getting a deal on the Honda CR-V with a standard rear-view camera is as delightful as it looks. But don't just witness this, my friends. Experience these great deals for yourself.
Exciting, I know.
Visit your local Honda dealer and test drive the Honda CR-V, Motor Trend's 2018 SUV of the year.
Josh Hawley, the golden boy. He thinks he can get away with anything. No wonder businessman David Humphreys and his family gave Josh Hawley $4.5 million, 75% of the individual contributions to Hawley's campaign. When Humphreys was accused of a pay-to-play scheme with legislators, the golden boy refused to investigate. He even admitted he never looked at the evidence. Josh Hawley, he's selling you out because he's not for you. SMP is responsible for the content of this ad.
Get where you're going faster with the KOMU8 Weather and Traffic app, bringing you mid-Missouri traffic in real time. Download the free KOMU8 Weather and Traffic app. Coverage you can count on.
If a sandwich needs a little something extra, you add bacon to it. If a sandwich is perfect just the way it is, you add bacon to it. Arby's, we have the meats.
Right now at Missouri Furniture, save 30, 40, up to 50%. Plus, get an extra 15% off furniture, mattresses, and outdoor furniture. It's the final markdown sale. Now at all 7 Missouri Furniture mattress and appliance locations.
We were struck by a drunk driver, rear-end collision. I ended up having surgery 5 days later. Well, the great thing about Harper, Evans, Wade, and Nettemeyer is that they were very driven in results. Jill was very effective and very aggressive about getting what I needed out of the situation, and I'm just glad that everything just got settled the way it did, and I think with all of them combined together, it just made the best team for my case. I definitely got the results that I needed.
To give Bella something that I love so much gives me a sense of accomplishment as a father. It's an emotional thing to watch a child grow up, and especially get behind the wheel. I know she'll have a heck of a good time driving it.
When it's time for your old Chevy truck to become their new Chevy truck, there's Truck Month. Get 18% of MSRP cash back on all Silverado 1500 Crew Cab LT pickups when you finance with GM Financial. That's $9,000 on this Silverado. Plus, during Truck Month, make no monthly payments for 90 days.
KOMU 8 invites you to Countdown to Kickoff, an evening with Coach Barry Odom benefiting Big Brothers Big Sisters of Central Missouri. For information, visit bigsofcentralmo.org.
The First Alert Weather Cam is brought to you by the law firm of Harper, Evans, Wade, and Nettemeyer. We will fight for you.
Welcome back to KOMU 8 News at 10. Here's a look out over Rocheport throughout the day today. We saw plenty of clouds, mostly cloudy throughout the day with a couple peaks of sunshine in there, but some areas here in mid-Missouri did see isolated showers. Now, we had rain chances today. Our better rain chances are for tomorrow. Today was a quite seasonal day, and as we look out over the country, plenty of active weather going on, especially out to our west. Some isolated showers and thunderstorms for this evening. But as we take a closer look to home, those scattered showers that we were seeing earlier today have fizzled out. We are looking at partly cloudy conditions as we head into the evening hours. However, a stray shower is not completely out of the question throughout the overnight hours. Sunday is our best chance to see rain. We're expecting widespread rain throughout most of mid-Missouri here. For both Monday and Tuesday, we have rain chances as well. What we're looking at for those days is more isolated events like we saw today, where some areas will see some spotted showers, but other areas will see more dry time than not. Really detailing out what we can expect over the next couple of days. Tomorrow for your Sunday, waking up, we're going to see a mix of sun and clouds off to the west, off to Kansas City. There is going to be a line of showers and thunderstorms. That's going to kind of fizzle out as it hits our area, and we're going to see a mostly rain event. Some areas could see some locally heavier rainfall, and a couple rumbles of thunder are possible throughout the day. That will move out into the overnight hours, leaving us with a mix of clouds and clear skies throughout overnight Sunday into Monday. To start the day Monday, could see a couple stray showers, more cloud cover than not. Some scattered showers are possible in the afternoon hours, but like I mentioned before, some people will see these showers, but not all of mid-Missouri will. The same goes for Tuesday as well. Tuesday starting the day relatively dry. Now, really breaking down our rainfall totals here, we are expecting 1/2 inch to 1.5 inches throughout most of mid-Missouri. Some areas could get locally heavier rainfall, up to 2.5 inches. Now, this might sound like a bad thing, but it's actually a good thing because most of mid-Missouri is in a drought right now. All of mid-Missouri is abnormally dry for this time of year, but if you pay specific attention up to that northwest corner, they are in an extreme drought. This is a threat to farming, and we are about 8 inches behind on our rainfall totals at this point in the year. Moving back into tonight, like I mentioned, we could see a stray shower, but not everyone will. For the most part, it will be a mild night. 64 degrees will be our low temperature with those winds out of the east at 5 to 10 miles per hour. Will be a good night for some patio weather with mostly cloudy skies. For tomorrow, a mild day temperature-wise, 77 degrees. To the north of I-70, you can expect cooler temperatures down around the lower 70s, but to the south of I-70, we will be closer to that 80-degree mark. Most of mid-Missouri will see those showers today. Some thunderstorms are possible mixed in there as well. Into the next couple of days, we do have rain chances that will still hold on for Monday and for Tuesday as well. Those temperatures, if you'll notice, they are on the rise yet again. 86 is our average high temperature for this time of year, so we'll see a very seasonable day for Thursday. After that, we're warming up much yet again Dry for the rest of the week into the weekend. Take a look at Saturday and Sunday. Temperatures in the lower 90s. It'll be toasty like we saw earlier this summer.
After the break, the Cardinals set an offensive record for recording a single out. St. Louis was taking on Chicago as they look to climb closer to the top of the division. Full highlights after the break. And here are your lotto numbers. Good luck.
I served our country overseas. The word freedom means something to me, so don't tell me Prop A is about freedom. Forcing workers to accept lower wages and fewer benefits is the opposite of freedom. Look, Census Bureau and Department of Labor reports prove that wages go down in right-to-work states. Families make over $8,700 less per year, and CEOs still make 361 times the average worker. An honest day's work for an honest day's pay, that's freedom.
Sandra is always planning for the future, but has trouble managing her own health. United Health Group used data and analytics to predict Sandra was at risk for diabetes and offered her incentives and support to make healthier lifestyle choices. So Sandra hasn't developed diabetes, and she's using technology to stay connected with her care team to help it stay that way. This is what healthcare can do when it's caring and smart. United Health Group.
When our Second Amendment rights are threatened, other legislators look to North Missouri's Nate Walker.
I'm a Constitution conservative. That's why I've passed multiple laws safeguarding our right to self-defense.
When innocent life needs protected, Missourians turn to Nate Walker.
Those are values I learned growing up on the farm. It's why I fight so hard to protect property rights and end the inheritance tax on family farms.
While others talk, Nate Walker leads. Constitutional conservative Nate Walker.
Ashley Home Stores Black Friday is happening in July. 3 days only. Buy one, get one 50% off or pay 0% interest for 6 years with no minimum purchase. Friday only. Get this sofa for only $249. Only at Ashley Home Store. This is home.
This is my Toyota Corolla. It comes standard with Toyota Safety Sense, a suite of advanced safety technology. Similar features would cost over $1,900 more in a Honda Civic. Now that doesn't make any sense. And for that, I give my Corolla 5 stars.
Tested, trusted Toyota. Get $1,500 customer cash on a new 2018 Corolla, or lease one for $209 per month with $1,500 lease bonus cash. Find yours at buyatoyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
Ashley Home Stores Black Friday is happening in July. 3 days only. Buy one, get one 50% off or pay 0% interest for 6 years with no minimum purchase. Friday only. Get this sofa for only $249. Only at Ashley Home Store. This is home.
Now from the Ford Sports Desk, KOMU 8 Sports.
And as of approximately 11:40 last night, the Moose is now loose in Milwaukee. The Kansas City Royals have traded all-star slugging third baseman Mike Moustakas to the Milwaukee Brewers in exchange for a pair of prospects. Moustakas had played 8 consecutive seasons with Kansas City, most notably in 2015 when he started in the All-Star game, and would later go on to help the Royals claim their second world title in franchise history. Moustakas set the franchise record for home runs in 2017 and played all 31 postseason games during the 2014 and 15 seasons. And today's matchup for the Royals against the Yankees would be the first time in 934 games that they've played without Moustakas on their roster. Rookie pitcher Brad Keller was on the bump for KC in the first of a doubleheader. Let's go to the Bronx. And when the Royals perform well this season, it usually starts with the defense. Today was no exception. Brad Keller gets a strikeout down low on a good pitch. Then Salvador Perez has a heads-up defense to tap home and tag the runner to earn a double play. Royals would escape that inning unscathed. Now top 5. Salvador Perez hits one back up the middle into center field. That would score 2 and make it 4-0 in favor of Kansas City. Very next batter is Lucas Duda. Pitcher wants him to check out the high cheddar, but Duda's not much for dairy. He prefers spinach to make him big and strong. Home run to right makes it 6-0 Kansas City. Bottom 5 now, and the Yanks are showing signs of life on offense. Giancarlo Stanton hits a moonshot out to center field to cut the lead down to 4 runs. Top 8 now, and it's a 1-run game, and it's Brian Goodwin's turn to go yard with 2 men on. That would seal it up for KC. They go on to win at a score of 10-5. And now we go to the second game. The Royals played 2 to make up the rainout yesterday. We jumped top 3. Salvador Perez again takes one to deep center field. and cuts Casey's deficit to 1. Now we go all the way to the 6th. 2 on for Kelvin Herrera. He'll poke one through the hole between center field and left, and that would go over the fence to send the Royals at a score of 3-1. And as we noted earlier, when the Royals are good, it's usually a result of pitching, and when they're not doing so well, you get the idea. You can see them tying things up at 3 here, but that luck would run out quickly in the bottom of the 8th as the Yankees would go ahead and take it at a score of 5-4. And the St. Louis Cardinals also played today. They're taking on their 6th game in just 10 days against the Chicago Cubs. They're 3-3 in that last 6, and they headed into Busch today to see if they could take one again. And Cards set a record for attendance, over 40,500 people at the game today. And the Cubs pitching was struggling early. We go bottom 1, and Quintana walks home a run to make it 1 early. And he walks Martinez there. You can see Cardinals have struggled against the Cubs early in the game recently. Marcell Ozuna says, I'll take care of that. He hits a home run to left center field. That's a grand slam to make it 5-0. Cardinals would break a record for the most runs scored before recording an out in this one. And the Cubs just 2 hits up to this point. It's top 4. That's Javi Baez down the right field line. That one sneaks over the fence to make it 6-2. And that would be about all the offense we would see today. St. Louis takes it at that score and gains a game in the NL Central standings. And that's all we got for sports. Back to news.
On my Tempur-Pedic, the sleep I get is better than any other mattress I've ever tried. I recommend my Tempur-Pedic to everybody.
The most highly recommended bed in America. Now ranked highest in customer satisfaction with mattresses by J.D. Power. And #1 in comfort, support, and value.
Now at Slumberland, during our Tempur-Pedic floor model closeout, save up to 50% on select adjustable base floor models. Pay no interest for 5 years, plus get $300 in bonus cash on qualifying mattresses. Slumberland, it's a good life.
Since Claire McCaskill got elected, things really took off for her and her husband. He snagged $100 million in government subsidies building low-income housing. Build low, live high. Claire spent big bucks chartering a private plane with public funds, a plane they co-owned. Now reports show Claire's husband made a boatload investing in a Cayman Islands hedge fund. Nice place to dodge taxes. Wrong senator for Missouri. CFG Action Missouri is responsible for the content of this advertising.
To give Bella something that I love so much gives me a sense of accomplishment as a father. It's an emotional thing to watch a child grow up, and especially get behind the wheel. I know she'll have a heck of a good time driving it.
When it's time for your old Chevy truck to become their new Chevy truck, there's Truck Month. Get 18% of MSRP cash back on all Silverado 1500 Crew Cab LT pickups when you finance with GM Financial. That's $9,000 on this Silverado. Plus, during Truck Month, make no monthly payments for 90 days.
Where there's light, there's magic, there's community, and there's pie. And where there's light in Missouri, there's John and Emily and many more Ameren Missouri team members fully dedicated to providing the reliable energy you count on every day. That's energy at work. Ameren Missouri.
Hey, it's practically time to go back to school.
No way.
That's right. It's time for the back to school sale at Denver Mattress.
It's only July.
It's never too early to start saving money. Right now, the Loveland Twin Mattress is just $149.99. Or get any size Aspen bed-in-a-box model with a free space base, and the shipping is free. We better get shopping.
I'm not ready yet. No, Mom.
Don't miss the back to school sale on now at Denver Mattress.
You can bathe in pink salt water in the Ukraine. The lake gets its color from microscopic pink-colored algae. Ukrainians describe the lake as a sort of natural spa. The salty water and the muddy shores are believed to have therapeutic qualities, but it has managed to keep from being a tourist trap. Now, many people go to try and soothe injuries or just to improve their overall health. Megan?
Tomorrow we are expecting to see some showers throughout the day for almost all of mid-Missouri. Temperatures will be mild as well, around the 77-degree mark. To the north of I-70, we are expecting slightly cooler temperatures in the lower 70s, but to the south of I-70, we will be closer to that 80-degree mark. Over the next couple of days, we still have rain chances, which will help us make up our rain deficit for this year so far. And man, that Ukraine salt bath, that looks nice, especially with School starting right around the corner for a lot of people. I
Need
think
some relaxation. What do you do?
That's what I'm saying. I usually go towards yoga. It's kind of new. My roommate's been getting me into it. I don't know if it quite compares to the pink salt baths, but it's got to be a close second.
Perfect. That's all the time we have. Thanks for tuning in.
On air, online, on Facebook, on Twitter, on the news app, and the weather app. KOMU 8 News. Coverage you can count on.